weekend for you. Lots going on, an injury, a couple of wins, but just a little bit about being home and kind of continuing.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, we've had a pretty rough schedule with a lot of travel lately, and I think just coming home off of 2 wins, it's huge for us, and obviously we have a good team coming in today. So just have to keep it rolling.
Can you talk about the lip, how it's feeling, and just kind of the whole process of getting hit and then trying to sort of recover from it?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy shift with Leon going down 5 seconds before me. Then I got a puck in the mouth, and I was lucky it was no teeth, and it's right up my lip, and I just got in there and got stitched up again. And I'm not looking the way I want right now, that's for sure.
Adam, in the first 10 games of the season, you've had some tough matchups against some superstar players. Tonight, the Minnesota Wild, they have a balanced scoring throughout their offensive core. How do you defend that a little bit differently from guys like Ovechkin, Crosby, and a full team effort tonight?
I mean, every team has their star players. I think a team like Minnesota, they have all their guys are working extremely hard. Even if there's the first line till the fourth line, they're all doing the same thing, and it's a tough matchup. I mean, they're good skating D too. It's kind of play offense with all 5 guys, and that's really hard to defend.
How's it going, sir?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks. Tobias, you've been finding your offensive touch. You had an assist in Pittsburgh and then multiple back-to-back assist games. How do you feel about your offensive games?
I think it's getting better and better. I get to know the players on the team a little more, how they play. Obviously, a little chemistry with Chaser and Leon there on that line, and we are just trying to keep moving forward from here.
This is your first season with the Oilers. Is it just a matter of just getting more and more comfortable each and every game?
I think so. Obviously, you wanna find your game, how you played the last couple of years, and then obviously getting more comfortable. And I think we're on the right track.
You're playing against the Minnesota Wild team tonight that has balanced scoring throughout their top 9 and top 12. How do you kind of tackle that as a team and maybe kind of mitigate their chances on that?
I think we have lots of speed, so we're trying to play fast, and especially when the special team battles. I think we've done a good job of that in the last couple of games, and that's what we're trying to do again.
This team has won a lot of one-goal games. If you guys just kind of contend like you did against Chicago for the full 60 minutes, do you think you're just going to come out ahead in a lot more of those games than losing?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've been, like I said, we've been pretty good in the last couple of games. We've been good defensively and scoring goals offensively. So we're just trying to keep that going now.
You're playing against one of the hottest goaltenders, Devin Dubnyk, has a .937 save percentage heading into tonight. It looks like he may get the start because there was back-to-back. If you play against Dubnyk, how do you solve it like that?
It's probably just like any other goalie in the league. They're all great. We gotta put lots of pucks on net and get lots of traffic in front of him, and that's usually how you score in this league.
A little bit about just how everyone's feeling. Been a long month, end of the month tonight, game-wise, anyways, and you're in a good situation, wanting to keep it going.
Yeah, no, of course. Obviously, with the travel to Europe and all that, it feels like we've been on the road for a while, and we're trying to keep moving forward from here. And like you said, it's been a long month, but I think we've done well in the last couple of weeks, so we want to keep moving forward.
Connor McDavid called you guys the best line. How are you feeling heading into tonight?
Yeah, our line feels good. The last couple games, even before that, I thought we were trending in the right direction, and against Chicago we got rewarded, and I mean the whole team I thought played well, and we were just lucky enough to get that one, and so we're gonna try to build off that and just be effective every night.
And how about the team overall? I mean, you guys have had a tough stretch of games against some pretty teams in the NHL. How are you guys feeling? You had a CBA mandated day off yesterday. How are you guys feeling going into that day off and now into tonight?
I think everybody's feeling good. I think right now we're playing some good hockey. Everybody's buying in, and just the mentality is a lot different from last year. And a lot of guys believe this year, and we know we're a good team. And it's nice when we play like it. So we just got to continue trending in the right direction, and we'll be fine.
A team that emulates balanced scoring is the Minnesota Wild. You guys got them tonight. We've been seeing a lot of balance scoring in the Oilers lineup tonight. How do you match up against a team like that? Yeah,
they're a good team. They're always a tough team to play against. I mean, I know whenever we go in there or play against them, it's always a battle and it's always a close game. So Yeah, today, we just got to stick to our game plan, trust what the coaches give us, and go out there and perform. So I think we're in a good spot here going into tonight, and we're looking to build off of it.
Your agent had been given permission to seek a trade. Do you want to clarify that or tell us your status here?
Yeah, I might as well just get it out of the way. It's I never asked for a trade. Never was looking for a fresh start. It's one of those things where you get healthy scratched. Your agent's doing his job and calling the team to see what's going on. They talked, which many GMs and agents do over the course of the year. Mentioned if he could maybe seek out, see if there was any other interest. Peter granted that, but at the end of the day, there was. I never asked for anything. It was one of those things where it was a feel-out period. We're 10 games into the year. Team's playing great. I respect the guys in here. The guys respect me. That's the first thing I did as soon as that rumor came out. Is I dressed all the guys in this room. That's all I truly care about. And that's that. Hopefully, it just goes to rest. Now we play hockey. If there's a trade, there's trades in hockey. That's the way it is. But I love Edmonton, love the team. And right now I'm an Edmonton Oiler. Simple as that.
You want to stay in Edmonton then, Zach?
Well, yeah, whatever. Second, first in the Pacific. It's exciting times in Edmonton right now. Obviously, you don't want to be healthy scratch, but Peter and my agent and myself have acknowledged that I've been off to a slow start. And when things like that happen, there's going to be chatter, and that's the way the game is. That's the market we're in. It's as simple as that. I feel the game, there's been ups and downs in my game this year. As a line, we're starting to click. Right now, I'm just trying to help the team as best as I can do.
There's been the weekend a little bit. You took a penalty on in Nashville at the end of the game. You probably didn't like that much. And then you come out the next day and you score the only goal in regulation. It was an up and down weekend for you, but it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think it was up and down. I think both games were good games. I think penalty is the penalty. It could go either way there. I don't look at the game as that. We got 2 points. Our line played well. We contributed. We were sound defensively. And then we chipped in offensively in Chicago when we needed it. So there are definitely building blocks there, and we just have to continue that.
You mentioned the healthy scratch, Zach. There's been 10 guys actually being healthy scratch. A lot of competition this year, and a lot of guys, Chase on, Drake, yourself, when you got scratched, rebounded and basically, subtle message to the coach that, hey, you know what, I want to keep my spot. Do you sense that in the room, that there's a healthy competition?
Yeah, well, you need that. Good teams have that. It's one of those things where you got to bring it every night, and if you're not helping the team, you're going to get healthy scratch. That's the way the business is. Obviously, an older guy, you understand the business. It's my job to get up and running the way I can, and if I do that, there'll be no problems, and I'll help this team win games.
So we jumped in a little bit late. You talked about addressing it with your teammates. What was your message to them, and what was their response to you?
Well, this is exactly what I told these guys earlier, that I didn't go in and ask for a trade. I definitely don't need a fresh start.
Well, Todd, you have 3 consecutive wins here, so based on morning skate today, it looks similar lineup or same lineup. Just a thought on not messing with success or whatever's going right for you right now.
3 wins, 1 in different ways, 1 in different buildings against different types of teams. Have found some chemistry with some lines and some pairs, and have also sensed a renewed confidence in the group amongst themselves, which is important. So we're going to leave that alone. We're going to give them a chance to play. The past, we obviously know, doesn't dictate the future. Just because you won 3 doesn't guarantee you the 4th. You got to put a lot of work into to Game 4, and coming off a road trip, that's not always an easy thing. So we'll have some work ahead of us tonight, and expect our group to show up and find a way to win this one as well.
Todd, you're focused on winning games, as you should be, but you also have some young players. It'll be 4 scratches in a row for Puljujärvi. Are you concerned that this long a stretch might affect his confidence, and how do you think he'll react to this?
I'm always worried about a player's confidence, and it doesn't have to be a young player. It could be Kyle Brodziak when he sits out Game 2 of a season when he joins a new team. You're always concerned about confidence and how it affects players, but you know, I look at Jesse's situation, and I've addressed Jesse days ago, and I'm addressing Jesse again today. It's obviously a hot topic, but he hasn't played a game in 4 days, and you know, yes, or 5 days, I guess it is now. He missed 3 games in 4 nights. Obviously, he won't play tonight. That's not ideal, but we have to look at the group and the whole package, the total package, and look at what's going on right now. We also have to be aware of individuals, and there has to be a balance.
Todd, the first week might not have gone according to plan, but everything else seems to have turned around. What led to that turnaround, do you think?
Well, the first week, it didn't go as according to plan. The first game, I thought we carried a lot of last year's baggage into it, and when it didn't go well for us, we got scored on the first shift of the game, first shot. You could feel the ghosts of the past reappear, and we didn't overcome that. Then we came back from Europe and played against a good team in Boston, and they were better than us that night, but we had improved, and I think from that point on, we've improved in most games. There's been segments where we haven't played well, I think of the start in Winnipeg, but we found ways to overcome. And in fact, the other day in Chicago, I'd venture to guess that wasn't our best effort either. But you know, the difference between the Chicago game last year and the Chicago game this year right now, we probably would have found a way to give those points away where we found a way to bring them home. As I said earlier, that doesn't, you know, the 10 that we've played already doesn't affect the next 10. We have to start all over again and continue to build.
Two questions, Todd. Zach Kassian spoke this morning. He said he addressed his teammates about rumors that came out this weekend that he'd asked for a trade. He says he likes it here, he's happy here. Your thought on how he played, particularly this weekend, where it kind of had two instances, one penalty, one goal. Where does Zach stand at this point with you?
Well, Zach has sat out, you know, I think 2 or 3 of the first 10 games. So that gives you an indication of what we thought his play was like. In turn, he's responded and played well on the weekend. I thought he went into Nashville and was effective. We can focus on the penalty itself. If you go back and review it, he was engaged with a player. The player lost the puck into his feet. He'd already began to make contact. You know, could he let up? Could he guide the player into the boards? I don't know. But in my opinion, he's already engaged. It's a penalty. Can't argue it. It's hard to go to the player and say that's a stupid penalty. I realize the time of the game. I realize the score of the game as well. Coming back and responding in Chicago the following night, that line was very effective. And I've challenged all 3 players there to provide, for them to provide us as a coaching staff confidence, the ability to put them on the ice and feel good about them. And they're doing that as a group right now, and Cass is a part of it. Trade rumors, nobody's happy when they're not in the lineup. It's a simple, it doesn't matter if you're Evan Bouchard at 19 or you're Chris Chelios at almost 50 when he was in Detroit. That's the spectrum that I've seen. And you're happy when players are upset. You know, a request for a trade, I'm not aware of that. I don't know where all of those you know, rumors come from. I would imagine that when a veteran player sits out that many days, there's a swirl of it, but I'm not aware of it.
Puljujarvi as well, if you don't mind. Everyone, I mean, it's clear to respect your need to ice the best lineup. The team's winning, that's fine. Do you hit critical mass when you have a 20-year-old player now that's sitting around for 4 games? Does something have to happen where that player either plays here, plays somewhere else, but has to play?
Well, players need to play. You know, right now we're sitting here with a 19-year-old that nobody's asking me that question about. We just sat him out for 2 games, and he's going to sit for his 3rd, so he's 19, and he can go back to junior, but nobody's questioning us on that, and I wish you would, because that's important too. Jesse's important. We've got Cooper Marody, who's hurt. We're not happy that he's not playing games. But what ends up happening is you try and make the best decisions for the group. And while you're doing that, you're trying to develop players. And the NHL is a tough place to develop players. And we've got a number of young players on our team right now. Yamo and Tyrati, in my opinion, is still a young player. He's inexperienced. You've got Jesse. You've got a lot of young players without NHL experience that we're trying to develop. And on some nights, all of them are playing well. Other nights, some aren't. And we have to consider the group as a whole. I forget who I watched TV last night. Funny, I was watching hockey, and somebody said that, I think it was Babs was talking in Toronto. It's the great thing about hockey is it's a team game. And when you make decisions based on the team, you're usually making them right.
Todd, just speaking on the game tonight, you're playing a well-balanced team in the Minnesota Wild. The top 9, any line can be hot on any given night. Parise is a point per game. They also have firepower on the back end as well. How do you execute a game plan against the Wild tonight?
We are playing against Minnesota tonight, aren't we? Yeah, Minnesota's a very good team. They've won 5 of their last 6. They've beat some really good teams. I think they're solid all over in 3 zones. They've been getting tremendous goaltending, and their penalty kill is exceptional, so that'll be a big challenge for us. You know, they've always had a very good systematic team play approach to the game. Their back end is a challenge as well for us as far as their ability to defend, but they can also jump up in the rush. I just think that they're a hard team to play against in all 3 zones. So if we go to sleep in any one of them, If we cheat a certain zone, we won't get rewarded in the other and punished in our own.
Todd, can you talk about the improvement on your back end, what Trent Yanni's meant, that the players talk, number one is positive attitude they really like, and number two, just small little thing about the details of trying to go less partner to partner and more up the ice. The defenders say the guys are coming back and they're quick and so they're moving it up well, but have you noticed a significant difference? Is that why your top four so much better this year compared to last? They're moving the puck quicker?
Well, there's a number of factors that go into that: health, confidence. You know, it's funny, when you win a few games, you feel better about what you're doing and you believe in it more. And we've tried to stress getting the puck up the ice quicker. But the quarterbacks can only throw the ball when the receivers are there. You know, so who's more important, quarterback, receiver? We've tried to work on our forwards getting into position and being available quicker. You know, so there's a number of factors that go into play. I think Trent Yanni's approach and Vive also helps. We forget that on the back end. He's got some experience, pardon me, obviously as a defenseman, but their approach, their positivity with the group is really important. Yet they're not afraid to ruffle feathers a little bit in the right way. So they hold those players accountable, but they also show a real positive demeanor around the group.
Todd, you mentioned it, so I'll ask you about Bouchard. Him not being in the lineup, is it more about buying time to make a decision with him, or his play?
A little bit of the Jesse explanation, where the group has performed well and we're going to keep rewarding it. We know that there is a timeline that we're working with, and he's played seven already, and we'll have to make some decisions moving forward. And you know, some of it's his play as well. So Bush is a little bit different when he's a younger player. He's learning the league. He got locked or stuck in an elevator in Nashville. Didn't get down in time to hand out the whatever we hand out after the game. That's just experience. That's a kid being young and getting off on the wrong floor. But he doesn't know. Doesn't know any better. He's never been in that building. He doesn't know where to go you know, after a game or anything like that. So there's so many experiences that these young guys go through on the road and at home. And you know, the great thing about Bush is he's gung-ho. He's ready to get better, and he's smiling all the time.
Just quickly from me, sorry, you know, on Connor's ice time, his minutes are up. His average shifts per game aren't really, so he's just maybe taking a little bit longer out there. As his minutes creep up with good players, the quality of their play tends to stay up as well with it. Is that what you notice with Connor? Is there any dip in his quality as the minutes go up?
No, Connor, out of all the players that I've been around in my 15, 16 years in the league, he has the greatest ability to extend a shift. And when we come in and we look at the game sheet between periods after the game, and we're, geez, our shift length's getting long. We got guys at 45, we got guys at 50. I look down, and if I see Connor near a minute, I'm okay with that. He just has the ability, his engine, the way he skates, the way he glides on the ice. He's so efficient that he can get away with that a little bit more. And his minutes have come down over the last 3 or 4 games, due in large part to everybody else contributing, and they're finding a balance. So I'm not overly worried about his shift length. I was worried about his minutes played. But again, some of those also go up in overtime.
Concern over secondary scoring at the start of the year. Certainly last week that wasn't the case, particularly Draisaitl and Reeder, who have played before internationally, and it seems like some of that chemistry is starting to resurface. What have you liked particularly about those two guys?
Well, they're now, not because they're Germans or anything like that. They seem to communicate well together. They're talking about where they should be on the ice and what will happen. Is that their past experience together? I don't know. Toby does a lot of skating. For that line and retrieves pucks so Leon can keep plays alive, and Chason's been able to shoot it when he gets it, and he's a big body that'll go to the net. So the three of them have found some chemistry. Secondary scoring is essential. It can go dry, though. It ebbs and flows throughout the year. We want it to stay as long as it possibly can, and really important.